behind you. Good times lie ahead. With company worth keeping, that'll bash a smile on your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the finest folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and lend our stories your ear. Cause we're the talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and bed love. The talk the tavern. Music, medicine, and some. The talk the tavern. The song's over. Here we come.
And welcome to Monday, June 3rd's episode of Talk of the Tavern, Gaming Women and Wankers. That could be taken a couple different ways, huh?
I'm the gaming women. She's the gaming women.
I thought
Y'all are the wankers.
I thought she was like doing cornhole over there. I look over, she's all like arms up like this and everything. Okay, I am Travis Sivart. I am the host of Talk of the Tavern, and until they overthrow me with a horrible mutiny and tickle torture. What are my vices tonight? I'm probably not going to smoke a pipe if you're in here. We're trying to be stealthy, like Andrea's not actually in the room, but I keep looking at her to give it away.
Stop looking at me.
I know. Can you zoom out?
No.
It's like, are you ready for your close up?
I can do that.
And it's great how your face keeps freezing, like when you're doing just that, like that. So, okay, I have a Pilsner. Elizabeth, what's the Pilsner in the green can you left here?
Oh, that's Pivo from Firestone. It's a Pilsner with just a touch of hops out of California.
That's what I have. I touched her hop. I'm ready to drink. I'm not even like waiting for the opening toast. I'm just like, no.
Wait, don't.
Let's have one of the women folk say some shit. We'll go with the wanker mouth over here. Andrea?
Oh, what am I supposed to do? I have Sprite. Wanker.
It's a green can.
It is. It's a theme tonight.
It's the theme.
Is that all your vices? Is that all you got for us?
I'm playing Candy Crush.
And you're playing Candy Crush. Okay. That is definitely a vice. Now let's go ahead and just take turns with boy, girl, boy, girl. And let me turn the mic a little
Well, okay.
So,
Whatever you're into.
I don't have a problem with it. Elizabeth, you're next.
Chris, you're next, man. You're the next boy.
All right. And I'm drinking rum and coke in my Talk of the Tavern glass that you can't really see at all.
I see it now in a subtle reflection.
But give it a second and his wall will be green to match the theme.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Now, what about you, Elizabeth? What are you partaking of this evening?
I'm working off something bacterial invaded my system, so I'm sticking with Coke to soothe what ails me, and hopefully get this water in me. Those are my vicious
Looks like
vices.
just a cup of ice.
No, it's water. Ice is water, but
Well, it didn't look like there was any water in it. It would look like it was just a cup of ice.
well, I have the window open for the kitties, so they can look outside. It's warm in my room.
Yeah, I opened the one here, but that's just in case we hear the cop getting shot at the redneck neighbor's house. It's, I guess we can move on to... No, let's do an opening toast before we get too far. We almost had Kevin and Ed on with us tonight.
Wankers.
Here's to those not with us. Hopefully, if they're dead, we buried them well and they won't be found. Okay. So yeah, just minutes before the... Does that look like... Okay, no, we're back.
It just got stuck.
It looked like a pig snout stuck up on her camera, didn't it? I don't even know what she did. You keep freezing, Elizabeth.
At the weirdest moments.
Yeah, I mean, you might be... Oh, no, you're not frozen. Okay, we can't tell sometimes. But usually if it's like, this on your camera, we know that you're probably frozen. It's, but maybe not. We don't know. So, right before the show, I'm staring out the front window and I see a sheriff's car pull up. Which is not unusual. They come to
Ooh.
me for advice all the time, so it's not unusual for them to pull up. But, I mute, and I go greet him at the door, and he's like, yeah, is everything okay, sir? I'm like, yeah, why? What have you heard? He's like, oh, no, we just had a 911 call. I'm like, you want to come in so you could see the place? And, he's like, are you the only one here? I'm like, no, my girlfriend's here too, And Andrea came out just so she wasn't cringing in a corner being beat or anything.
That's later.
And apparently all 7 cats came out to show they weren't in the corner being beat because
Like,
they started climbing his leg and shit. But he's like, yeah, would you know of anybody else? And I'm like, so you guys remember me telling you about the redneck romance walking down the road in front of my house?
Right.
I tell him that story about her yelling at the top of her lungs, you want to run me over? You want to get your gun and shoot me? Go ahead. And how, like, just 3-4 days ago, I heard the same thing from, a quarter mile away where they live. So he's like, okay, I guess I'll go check it out. I'm like, be careful.
Worried about him.
Because they're heading to, redneck house, and he's a young black guy, and... So anybody else have anything interesting happen over the past week?
Yes.
My grandma turned 90 yesterday. Well,
Wow.
technically today, her party was yesterday.
You mean she leveled to 90?
Yup, she leveled up to 90.
There you go.
Wow.
We made an old lady cry.
By punching her?
Yo.
Going 90 ain't so tough.
My grandma.
Oh.
She'd punch back, and then I wouldn't be here.
She'd punch
That's
you back
right,
into the
level 90,
uterus.
man.
She can still kick my ass.
Good for her.
They've got artifacts, man. Don't mess with them.
Chris likes artifacts. Ask him about his Mirrodon deck.
It's true, I do.
That's awesome.
How'd you make her cry? Did you pinch her? Did you jump out of the closet?
So it was me and one of my other cousins and my parents and my aunt
Dug up
all
grandpa?
came up, and we threw her a surprise party, and she didn't know that any of us were coming.
Now, let
Plus,
me
they
ask you.
invited a bunch of her friends, and one of them came up from Delaware, I think,
The one that's still alive.
who she grew up with, who just turned 90 herself. So
Oh.
my grandmother was super surprised.
Hi, Gary. Real quick, I'm very curious. So when you yelled surprise, were you very surprise? Or were you just everybody leap out and see if we get our inheritance? Which direction did you go?
Somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Because of a lot of her other older friends are a little slow on the takeoff.
Yeah. So there's none of them getting away. You could still chase them down, even though...
Yeah. Oh, and so she lives in an assisted living community.
Uh-huh.
And she doesn't have helpers. She has peeps.
Nice.
She's always like, oh, go find one of my peeps. I'm like, really, Grandma?
See, it sounded like you stumbled over the word and said assisted listening. I'm like, she's in a CIA house?
So, I saw a thing on Instagram the other day, or last week, I don't know, a while ago, of almost the exact same thing you
Hi,
just
Jewel.
Subscribe. Oh my god, described.
It's going to be a fun night with our
really
speakings.
old lady, and it was her birthday, and her best friend she grew up with, who's another really old lady, and she didn't know it was there. It was so cute.
Did you guys put this on Instagram? Is there a chance that was your party?
No.
Oh.
Well, maybe. I'm not on Instagram, but that doesn't mean my cousin didn't, or my aunt didn't.
You should go find it again, Andrea, and see if Chris is lurking in the background, piece of cake in his hand,
I would've
half of it on his
noticed him.
face.
It was really cute though, because
It was a good cake. There was a so it was cake on the bottom, then a inch layer of custard, then more cake and icing. It was
it's
good.
all about the cake now.
You might have caught him in the background trying to seduce Grandma's friend. So, how you
Well,
doing?
they say about those retirement homes, with the swinging community. No chance of getting pregnant.
That's because of gravity. Everything is swinging at that age.
Hey, you're still moving at that age. God bless you. That's awesome.
So, anything else go on this past week, Chris?
We teched a show that's gonna open. We start previews on Wednesday. It'll open a week from today. so I won't be on the show. Well, I might be on the show. I might not go to opening. We'll see.
Aren't you important?
He's
No.
important to us.
Oh.
Not to this one.
There you go.
Because we're not in our theater, I don't have a lot to do.
Gotcha. Well, as Andrea just said, you're important to us. So you can come here and tech our show.
Oh,
I
okay.
might be here.
What about you, Elizabeth? You have something good a past week?
Well, I've been writing like crazy, but
That's how you do everything.
Okay, thanks. And I noticed I'm developing a process. I've expanded it and fine-tuned it to where it's getting more precisional and accurate. And it's very exciting that I can basically restructure and rewrite an entire film within a week and get it done well. And I'm starting to identify tonality more at a deeper level. And I'm gonna say it again, comedy is a bitch. So hard, but it is fun. And I actually got out Friday night and went to my local beer specialty shop, and we had beer club.
You had beer
tried
what?
some very fine beers.
Oh, okay.
That was it. Yeah. And it was really great. And they even had beer from Ouzelfinch, the brewery I went to recently.
Right.
And some as far, was it? Oh, Jackie's was from Ohio. We had some beer.
I do want to point out that Ouzelfinch sounds like a bird from a Dr. Seuss book.
It is a bird. That's the legend. It's a legend at Fort Monroe. Apparently, a very drunk Army colonel left the officers' club and claims he saw this giant bird with glowing red eyes. And he came back in. No one believed him, and it's this legendary bird they always look for.
Now,
Right.
let me ask you.
Of course,
has
my
any-
comment was red eyes. It was probably his wife, but
have any of us ever been so drunk that we hallucinated?
not hallucinated,
Okay, what's the other option?
not drunk.
I was like, fuck.
Okay, well, being high, taking a hallucinogenic is different from I drank so much I saw pink elephants or red-eyed huge birds. It's
No, I've never been that drunk. I was hallucinated.
okay.
Blacked out, maybe, but I never hallucinated.
So you wake up the next morning, have the red eyes.
Oh. But it's always fun to learn about beer and learn about different brewing techniques. And no progress yet on getting together with the 5 other Beths in my community and creating a Beth's brew. And I haven't lost hope yet, so we're going to get that done.
So at the brewery, was there one beer that just really stood out above all the others for you?
Okay, it was at our local beer shop, the Bob Devant Market in Smithfield.
Okay.
Very good shop. Actually, the Ouzelfinch is, they call it Lady in White. It's their cross between either a Belgian White or a German Hefeweizen. A lot less spicy. Fantastic on a hot day. Fantastic. And there
Like
was an
Andrea.
Irish Red. Yeah. Spicy when necessary.
And fantastic on a hot day.
Great head. Great white head.
Gary says the hallucinations
your
occur
part?
after you stop, so don't stop drinking. I'll drink to that.
I'll drink to that.
Here's
And,
to never
Jackie's
having
Red-
hallucinations.
Here.
Drink up.
And Samuel Smith's brown ale was very delightful.
That sounds like diarrhea.
And you've had Samuel Smith. That's
Sam
the other.
Jackson's brown
That's the
what?
lager I left you in the fridge.
Nice.
The big white can.
Oh, I think
Sam
I
Jackson's got
have
a
one of
big
those.
white can.
I'm sure Sam Jackson has had a few white cans in his day.
My uncle might start brewing.
Ooh.
He was doing wine for a while, but has poor storage for it to age, so they were skunking prematurely.
Ew.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm giving up the wine, and he's either gonna start brewing beer or potentially mead. He wants to try mead, and I'm super excited for him to try mead. So.
Mead is so
Oh, is it too
sweet.
warm?
Well, the problem is where he's storing it. It's while it is temperature controlled, it's not constant enough, so the temperature will vary by 20, 30 degrees.
Oh, yeah, that's bad.
Right. So, the wine isn't, staying at that nice, cool temperature.
Right. Pilsner is supposedly one of the hardest beers to make because if there's a variant degree of just one degree, it can affect the fermentation.
Wow.
So that's why a lot of people don't want to do it.
It's very picky.
And then sours.
Mm.
I mean, I like sours, but...
I love sours. Yeah. And that brewery, I digress. Here we are talking about beer. That brewery, Uzelfinch, they have a lot of sours, and they're all really good.
Ooh.
Well, let's move on. Andrea!
Do we get an opening toast?
We did an opening toast to
Oh,
those
yeah.
who
I
aren't.
drank.
Yeah. Good job. You're with the program. Are you in a straitjacket? Is your cape on backwards, or do you have a blanket, Andrea?
My cape's on backwards because I'm cold.
Okay, no cape.
No cape.
Okay.
That would be great if you had like a really skinny superhero and their cape was made out of like flannel because they get cold and they just keep turning it around.
That would be me. Just wrap it around, yeah. Nice cosplay.
So I did have
At
a.
that point, wouldn't it just be a Snuggie? Put arms in.
No sleeves.
Could be.
Super snuggy.
My cat looks
So
like
what
a-
happened this week? Anything amazing, beautiful?
For me or for someone else?
Me.
I thought Andrea was next.
Well,
Either of you two?
my kid that had spinal surgery went home Friday to his apartment. He's doing well. 2 rods in his back. He's doing all right considering.
Do they stay there?
Well, unless they migrate, yeah.
Unless there's a horrible
Wow.
accident and they'll
Hold on.
put your eye out, kid.
I'll pull up a picture.
Well, sometimes they take them out and things heal and stuff like
Well,
that. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's like later, and you have to go through this whole process, and that just, hold on. Here we go. Here we go. I'll put up a before and after. So for all of those that are so inclined, can you see it?
Back it up just a little bit.
wow. Yeah.
So back it up a little bit more.
Can't see the rods.
Back it
Yeah,
up about 3
that's
more
what he
inches.
said.
There you go. Okay, now angle it down because the light's catching it.
Well, now I just see Elizabeth in the reflection.
Yeah, maybe this would be easier if I just sent the
We can
pictures.
see it there. Yeah.
Well,
Look
you-
at the
Wow.
look at the rods. Ah. Oh wait, it cut
Now the
off.
phone's off.
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna mess up the screen real quick. Give me. Oh, you know what? I don't think I need. Maybe I do need to do this. Give me just a second.
Well, how about this?
Hold on. I'm gonna do this.
See
Yep,
the 2 rods? Ain't
I can see that.
crazy?
Wow. That's a long rod.
2 of them, even.
Jeez.
Oh, he's got his thing. Yeah, from the base of his neck to the top of his butt, base of his skull. Kid's been through a lot. He's doing well considering. Don't show that one.
Don't show that one.
Is he gonna be
yeah.
able to bend?
Uh-uh.
Like this is back?
Mm-mm.
So it's just straight now from now on.
Straight. Because some people, when they have scoliosis, they only have it in certain parts.
Okay. For the viewers out there that want to see this, I'm gonna put a link up. Once this loads, it's loading very slow. The
But he
internet
had a
is-
great pediatric orthopedic surgeon. He was really nice. Everybody was really nice, really good.
So if you look at that picture, you're going to see 4 pictures. Upper left is the side view before, and then the upper right is the side view after. The bottom left, straight towards the back.
Does that have his information on there?
No,
Okay.
no, it's got the date in his name, I guess there. So, but yeah, and you don't want that one shown. The other one is just the incision.
Yeah, I don't
So.
think he'd want everybody seeing that.
It doesn't show. I cut his butt out.
He didn't have a butt.
There we go. So, yeah, you can see what he went through, a little bit of it. Okay, go on, Andrea.
Oh, I don't know what I was saying. I was exhausted. But he's better. You know, the landlord took his air conditioner because I was going to take him home and stay a week with him. Landlord took his freaking air conditioner. It's hot. It's sweltering. The child can't be in heat sweating with an open wound all down his back. Well, it took them a week or so to get him an air conditioner. It's just, I don't know. I don't want to bitch on air, but...
Do you want to talk more about what you think is going on?
He's on disability. And I thought he was in an assisted living facility. Or assisted living conditions. He was not. Apparently no. And his apartment was horrible because I thought people were helping him take care of everything. No. And today he was told, oh, you're going to get a roommate. I'm like, cool. So I talked to the person in charge. I said, so his rent's going to go down? Oh, no. They pay the same. I said, so how is that fair? He's going to pay the same amount and have this other person live there.
And the other person, we assume, would pay the same amount, which
yeah,
means
they are. He's like, she said they pay the same amount no matter what. So it's $600. Two of them paying $600. This guy that my child doesn't know is going to move in, and anybody that knows his issues can understand it. And he's got lots of anxiety. This is an older man in his 60s who has some health problems. I'm like, what if he dies and my kid's home alone with him? That was my first thought, because he's already messed up in the head and he's been doing better lately. But what if, what if?
What if?
Well, after I brought up the whole rent thing, then how is that fair? He's not getting a roommate now. They're like, oh, don't worry about it. I think there's a scam going on.
We all hear these things about certain people taking advantage of the disabled in financial ways, and this stinks of that. For them to go, oh, well, $600 for this place, now we're going to be making $1,200 because we're putting another person in there, but you're not getting anything new or another benefit, and we're taking the equal amount from both of them as opposed to it just being $300 each.
Yeah, and I was all excited. I'm like, oh, well, you'll save money. You'll have money to save up for, things you need. And no, something's going on. Something's wonky with that. So if anybody knows of how you report possible fraud or scams or whatever, put it in the link or message us.
Yeah, send Andrea a private message or me a private message. Or put it publicly if you think it'll help more than just us.
No, because you don't mess with my kid. Anyway, that was my past 2 weeks.
You got anything else exciting? How's work?
Oh God, and then sorry, go ahead.
You? How's your work?
Yeah, how's work? Happy stuff. Happy.
Oh, I'm making more money.
Yeah.
Talk about the patches.
Okay, now I work for Lowe's. And just so you guys know, if you shop at Lowe's and you get a receipt, do the survey, and mention the people that are helpful. I'm one of those people. I know this. And I encourage people who I help to do that. And now we actually get money for it.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of getting these stupid pins saying, oh, a customer gave you a compliment, you get a patch that has a star. You get $50 on your paycheck. I like money.
So it boils down to $10 per person that says something nice about you, but you got to get 5 before you get paid.
But at least the company's doing something. So, yay, I like money.
It's exciting.
Money is great. Pays a hooker so I don't have to masturbate. My mom taught me that song. Anyhow.
That's how she paid rent, right?
That's right.
Anyway.
By money being great.
What's our topic?
Our topic is gaming, women, and wankers. But I have things that went on during my week, unless we've run out of time.
You didn't do yours yet, did you?
No, I always do mine last.
I forgot.
It's okay. Elizabeth, what are you doing?
Nothing.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
dozed.
I'm drawing.
Oh, are you
Of
drawing?
course I'm drawing.
Okay, no, that's Awesome.
I can move my hands again because I haven't typed in 18 hours. So.
Okay.
She is not frozen on my screen, but she's frozen on yours.
Yeah, it's anyhow.
It's funny.
So let's see. I have heard a phrase that I had never heard in my life, and I was so thrilled to hear it. So you know how all our life, most of us have had white friends and or black friends, and you've heard kiss my white ass and kiss my black ass your whole life, yeah?
I said it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Apparently Elizabeth hasn't heard these phrases. She's just agreeing to fit in from peer pressure now. I'm working with a Vietnamese guy at work, and he says if they think I'm going to do that, they can kiss my yellow ass. I thought that was so great. I have never heard kiss my yellow ass before. And I'm like, man, why haven't I heard? I just don't have enough Asian friends.
You do. They just don't say it.
Yeah, let them out of the shed. But you. I honestly, I generally hear either kiss my ass or so I generally, I had to think about it. I don't usually hear black or white or yellow ass usually with my friends.
Suck my balls.
Because I don't see color.
I mean,
I just
in
see
this
ass.
group of friends, I hear everything.
It's
I'm seeing if there's comments. I just put it on my phone to see if I can.
yeah, no comments yet. You know, besides Jewel and Gary saying hello and Gary talking about hallucinating if you quit drinking. So other than that, let's see. I had some adventures in giving away books. A lot harder than you'd think. Everybody says they're interested, but nobody will do. I don't know, like come to where the books are to pick them up, even though they're like in the car where they're at. They won't leave the building to go get them. And then when I showed up at a library, they're like, well, gee, that's a lot of books, and maybe you shouldn't bring us any more. You should take it to this library over here. And I'm like, how hard is it to get rid of?
And they're good books like the Harry Potter, Jurassic Parks, all
Yeah.
these popular things now.
They're good sci-fi and fantasy. And, you know, I didn't want to give them to Goodwill because that's where books go to die. I wanted to give them to a library where people can use them, or hand them to somebody that likes them. And I'll have
Go to Starbucks and put them in their little library.
I don't think they're going to appreciate it if I bring in 300 books.
Would you do a retirement home?
It's not a bad
I
idea.
mean, they're big readers.
Gary says, I would if he was a chick and it was a big juicy ass. Okay, Gary, I'm guessing you mean the kiss my yellow ass part.
I hope your ass isn't yellow. It should be pasty white.
Now, let me point this out, Gary. He's Asian. So big, juicy ass. By the way, juicy makes me think it's like diarrhea splattered. I just think like there is like liquid poo oozing out when they're like, look at that juicy ass. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, that's not what you meant. Thank God. I know. Don't squeeze it. It's like a peach, but smells like shit. So yeah, giving away books a lot harder than I thought. And I learned a new position at work.
Yeah, you did.
Bent over without crying this time. I think that's it. I don't think those stories are... Any more stories are going to be all that interesting. We can get rid of my notes. Yes, Elizabeth?
Not being able to get rid of books. Ugh, such smart people problems.
First IQ problems. Gary says, yes, pasty. Then he says, some of them are quite healthy Asian asses, I mean. Oh, there's a difference between
the
a cute little
guys?
bubble. But, well, if the guys are lucky.
You know, that's a comment I said several times this week to different people. Our response to their woes. My response is, well, you know, you're just a smart person living in a stupid world.
Did they understand you were being sarcastic, or
No,
are
it's
they not really
sincere
smart?
and sarcastic.
Because you could say
You
that
know,
to
when you go
stupid
to
people and
movies
they don't know
there's
you're
nothing
fucking with them.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, Travis. All those good books, man.
We're missing a wanker.
Gary says no menses.
No what?
No menses.
No menses.
What wanker are we
No
missing?
womenses.
Andrea?
Oh, we're missing two. We're missing Kevin and Ed.
We are. They were both almost on. By the way, for our viewers out there, Kevin had a heart attack this weekend, and he was hospitalized, and he underwent surgery and had a stent put into his heart. Now, I did ask him if it was okay to talk about this. He said absolutely. And if he wasn't exhausted from, I don't know, heart attacks and surgeries, he would have been on the show tonight, but it's 1 a.m.
He's
in
a
the
slacker.
UK.
Whatever.
And Ed was going to be on tonight till he got him to work. And if we had both of them, we were going to have a different topic that we'll bring back around at a later date, which kind of applies to the vast majority of our
I
audience.
won't be here next week.
Well, you're awfully young, so maybe it won't apply to you. I don't know if Ed and Kevin will be here next week. We have no guarantees.
I may or may not be on next week. We don't know.
It could
Yeah,
be
it's a
Elizabeth and me staring at each other the whole time.
Stop it.
Can't do that while I have contacts in.
Just drops. Doot, doot.
We could do a what really grinds my gears and see whose blood pressure gives up first.
I do have a couple things on the books for the Insensitive Bastard show,
You bastard.
where we give honest opinions about shit that will probably piss people off. Then again, knowing our
that would be
crowd,
fun.
probably not. It's okay. So let's get on with the actual topic, which I need another beer. Should I sneak past you, Andrea, or would you care to go get it
Go
for me?
get it.
Yeah, just go grab one of those cans out of the left-hand side of the fridge,
Wanker.
please. I am.
Be the sexy lady. Go get your man a beer. Well, you should get you both a beer.
Oh, no, I don't
She doesn't drink beer.
I know, it's so tragic.
While she's going, I should move her computer back so she's not quite up getting that Mr. DeMille close-up. See if that's any better for her.
See if she notices.
I switched her coffee with juicy ass. What?
Juicy yellow ass.
I don't have a yellow ass.
No, that'd be a cowardly mule. Yep, here's that Samuel Smith, Old Brewery. Okay, you know what? Let's just make
Sam
this easier.
Jackson's big white can.
Yeah,
It's organic.
Jewel, he is okay. He's doing fine. His biggest concern is being out of work because he just had a couple weeks off. I suspect, considering he had been back at work 2 days, the two events might be related. But he didn't seem to show a concern with that. So, but he
Yeah,
is
yeah.
okay. He's just resting. And we gave him a proper amount of shit for not showing up tonight because he has some lame ass excuse like heart attack and surgery.
Yeah, no.
Uh-oh.
Don't spill
Ooh,
it everywhere.
we're happy to see you.
I popped a top and suddenly had a little head. Andrea probably shook it up walking here. Okay,
Maybe.
so this week, what's Elizabeth? Oh, is she taking a selfie with the screen?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to Kim.
Okay.
And I went to take a picture, and I kept a selfie, and I kept thinking, God, the monitor looks so small. I'm like, yes, I'm on my phone tonight.
Wow.
Oh, and this is what senility looks like, folks.
My needle holes.
Just so you know, you froze with your fingers that far apart for like 18 seconds.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay,
And he told me it was this big, and it was only this.
it's tonight's topic: gaming, women, and
Lies.
wankers. So this can go in a lot of different directions, but basically I want to talk about women playing tabletop role-playing games, Magic the Gathering, online video games, the PS4, or whatever, any of these aspects, because in the 80s, a lot of the gaming industry was aimed at boys, not even men at that point in time. It was kids, teenagers, and girls were kind of left out. But of course, girls were interested too.
Yeah, Miss Pac-Man.
They did, and it did better than Pac-Man in the long run. But I want to discuss,
I think
considering...
it's like, if you look at statistics, like 75% of gamers are women.
Give me just a second before you get into that. Let me finish expanding on the topic and why I chose you guys for this topic. Chris and I met gaming. I have played tabletop role-playing games with all three of these folks, and still do with 2 out of the 3. And I know Elizabeth and Andrea both have gaming backgrounds in both tabletop as well as video games. So I figured this would be great, and I figured Chris and I can add the male point of view of how we feel about women gaming.
Wankers.
Andrea is she's sticking with the wanker theme for the tonight. To hell with the women and the gaming. She's all about the wanker.
I am.
Okay, now Chris, you were saying 75% of women.
Of gamers are women. Now, it's not, when you think of a gamer, you're thinking of a dude sitting in his basement playing World of Warcraft or like Call of Duty. While those gamers do exist, most games, and I'm including like mobile games and like all of that stuff.
Yes, that makes sense.
It's mainly women playing most games.
Candy Crush.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's so there is a chance that the person I'm flirting with in World of Warcraft has a vagina instead of a penis.
Or both,
I mean, besides you, Chris.
He's got a whole drawer full.
Well,
I don't know where I keep them.
That's true. That was rude of me. Forgive me.
Go ahead, Andrea.
They could be on the shelf over there.
They could be by my dicks, we don't.
I've changed the way I've gamed recently. Now I get paid for it. Because there's an app
So
for
you're
that.
a professional gamer.
Well, my Candy Crush and all these little stupid games, I have an app where you play so many minutes and you get points and it goes towards gift cards. Well, instead of gift cards, I just have cash put in my PayPal. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Neat.
I figure it's not a lot, but I'm going to play it anyway, so I might as well make $10.
So, Andrea, since you're talking, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what kind of gaming you do, and a little bit about when you started gaming and how it's changed throughout the years.
I don't know, a long time ago, back in the day, I was really into board games. And in the summer, I guess that counts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Board games have made a big resurgence in the past 5 or 6 years.
Bright lights.
Yeah, well, you're like this dim
Because you moved my computer back.
thing.
Okay. Well, like back when I
She
was
noticed.
younger, I used to, in the summer, me and my friends would get together and we would have an all-day board game session. What are you doing?
Moving it closer.
It's creepy. And then, Nintendo came out, Ataris and all that stuff. I'd be at friends' houses because we couldn't afford that. Played with those games. Arcades. I miss arcades. I don't know about you guys.
Why?
The noise, I don't know, just where your friends go and you just...
It felt like a carnival. What is it where they have all the games? Not a fairway, not a freeway. It's called a...
Gameway?
I don't remember. But when you go to King's Dominion or Busch Gardens or a carnival, you have the gaming alley with all the games. And arcades definitely had that noise and feel without the sticky stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
That's Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
Well, I played that, and now it's D&D. Played Marvel. All the tabletop role-playing stuff. Star Wars.
We need to do a Pugmire game.
Are you going to run it for us?
No.
I don't think anybody else has a rule book.
I've never heard of it. What is that?
Oh, Chris, you want to tell her about it real quick?
D&D, but your dogs.
They do
So,
have a
like, you
cat
could be
expansion.
a Corgi cleric, or
Oh my god, that's so cute.
a golden retriever warrior, or
Yeah, that's funny.
I could be a chihuahua. The muscle.
You could be a Chihuahua. There's like the cover art.
Oh, that's great.
So funny.
Humans have died out and left civilization behind, and the dogs and cats have risen to power.
That's
And there is a cat supplement available.
Yeah, the monarchies of now.
Meow.
I could be a Chihuahua who thinks they're a cat.
I think, yes, you could be.
I would. Oh, that would be awesome. Yes.
So, what, isn't the rule book like $40?
Oh, I don't know. I can. You should. I think I sent you the PDF in Google Drive. If not, I'll share it again.
Okay, that might be necessary. Because we could definitely do a one-off and do, some weeknight that everybody's available and do just a one-off crazy little...
That'd be awesome.
We would have to have a lot of dog and cat puns in there.
Pugmire.
Be a Chihuahua named Kitten. Oh,
A sexy chihuahua named Kitten.
oh
I
yeah.
imagine fishnet stockings without the shaved legs, because that'd be really disgusting to see shaved legs on a chihuahua. You'd be like our
They're
cat's
kinda
belly.
hairless.
Chihuahuas are not hairless; they have short hair.
Really short. That would be fun.
There you go.
I don't know. Anyway.
Okay, and I'll check that when we're not trying to run a
Yeah,
show
yeah.
on my bandwidth.
That's fine.
It's Elizabeth. Would you want to play? Okay, you know what? Can we call the women bitches in a game like that or not? I need to know this ahead of time.
I mean,
Because it wouldn't be insulting at that point. It'd be accurate, right?
Don't be catty about it.
as long as they're playing lady dogs.
That's true.
Your mama's bitch.
Well said.
And just telling people don't be a pussy would be... Oh, by the way, for all our viewers, I have put the tip jar back on the screen. So now if you throw bits... Which, by the way, guys, let me suggest this to you. When we go on our break here in about 10 minutes, and we have 5 minutes where we're just hemming and hawing and waiting for everybody to get back,
Watch
click on the Get Bits button and watch videos. And then when we come back on, throw those bits at us. This is a way you guys can throw... They are. It's but this allows you guys to gather bits, no cost to you, and support us.
Oh my God,
Thank you,
you're a dog.
Elizabeth. Oh, Tracy! How are you?
Tracy!
Tracy played this game with us, wouldn't she? Tracy, you want to be a dog? I mean, like if we're all dogs.
I'm gonna be a Chihuahua named Kitten.
Who wears the fishnets?
You can do
I'm the
that.
muscle of the group, or at least I like to think so.
Just like real life.
Hey.
Oh, thank you, Tracy. Appreciate that. What? But anyhow, yeah, like I said, when we go on break, I'll remind you guys. Go watch the videos, get some bits, throw them at us. And, yeah, little bits. By the way, Elizabeth, you are now, for the 3rd month in a row, the #1 bit sharer.
That's right.
Tracy, you're number 2. Because you two
See,
are the
every
only
time
ones.
I try and go and watch videos for bits, it always tells me there are none.
Yeah, the earlier in the day you do it, the more better chance you have of getting some.
The more better?
The more... Quiet down, female chihuahua.
Oh, bad dog, bad.
There is a whole thing in there about bad dog and the psychology of it, because you don't say you're evil, you say you're a bad dog.
Yeah, wait, what is it? The code of man. Be a good dog, protect your home, be loyal to those who are true. These are the words of the code of man.
And cats are just fucking bitches, but not in the dog way. Yeah, cats are kind of the enemy. Though you play a good cat, yeah, generally they're the opposition to the dogs.
Are the cats
Yep.
in the game too? or
Yeah,
just
there
dogs?
is a supplement you can get for the cats. I think they touch on it in the original rulebook, but it's only as opposition. To play one, you need this other
My
thing.
mother was a cat. Oh, I would. This is gonna be fun. I have a background story and everything.
Okay, we're going to have to talk to Aaron. Aaron's good at finding PDFs. Maybe we can find the cat supplement.
Oh, I don't need a supplement. I'm just gonna play it.
Yeah, she is.
So, Elizabeth, what about you
I'm
and
a
your
wash.
gaming background and history and experience?
Who?
You.
Elizabeth.
Oh, me? Oh, I didn't. You cut out at that point. Forgive me. Okay, growing up, military brat, so gaming was an option. I live for cards. If you open a deck of cards, you got me all night. Well, I'll play till I drop. I don't know. It's got a magic spell on me. And it doesn't have to be for money.
So let me ask you. Are we talking about like gin rummy, Uno, Magic the Gathering? When
Yeah,
you say
gin
cards,
I generally play rummy, poker, 21, kings in the corner, cribbage.
okay.
Oh, someone told me recently they're going to teach me spades. So
Was that
I
Ed?
love
Because he did not
speed.
mean cards.
I'll take what I can get.
Well, from what I understand, you'll get a lot with that.
Okay. In Tripoli, and if you guys don't know Tripoli, I'll bring the setup, and it's a fantastic game. You can learn. I learned at 4, so.
Oh.
I remember Pong had a huge impact on me, and we borrowed the game set from people up the street, and I was in England at the time. And it was just the paddle and the
Right.
knob.
I had one.
Yeah, and that just blew my mind. It was just fun, all I had to do was just minimal movement and focus. And
Right.
I did enjoy Atari. I didn't quite get absorbed as my brother. I was so imaginative in my mind with stories, but I really love, and I have not played it hardly at all, just a few times when I visit friends, when you go online and then you play against other people, kind of like tag. Only it's Call of Duty, or I guess now it's Fortnite or something.
Now, do you like
I
the
love
first-person
that.
shooters, or are you talking also like World of Warcraft, where you have this whole fantasy world, or Star Wars, where you have the whole galaxy?
I like the shooters. I create worlds. I write worlds, and usually video game worlds are very boring for me because they have to appeal to 8-year-olds through, so they're limited. And I just like to shoot them up, instant gratification, and then I can walk away after half an hour. So, but I do appreciate, and you know this from me watching you, just the development of video games and what has happened to them. And I think one of my favorite ones I've never been able to play, just because I didn't have the system, was the, what was it called, Big World, or with, was it the Wii or the Nintendo, and it was the little brown guy. He looked like this Little Big World. Yeah, and he looked like a sweater with a zipper. Yeah, and it was so soft and fun. I really enjoyed that. And as a Jerry, I can attest to anything driving. I enjoy playing with other
Did
people.
you give it to him?
Yeah.
I think I did.
Okay, good.
You may have that now, Elizabeth, because I think we gave it to you.
Ooh.
I had Little
You
Big
made it.
World, and Andrea just said not anymore, and I don't think we traded it in
I
because
think I
trade-ins
put
are.
it in that bag of stuff for you.
I'm setting it up this week. I have time now. I don't have to rewrite an entire script.
Cool.
So I'll be able to. I want to get my arm moving and shaking. Yeah. I really enjoy the fun aspect where people play for fun. I don't like playing with shitty people. I like people who enjoy a game, play for the sake of the game, occasionally
Right.
surprise you. And I really admire the creativity that comes when people figure something out and then add a new element to the game. It can be fun. And I didn't mind. I mean, getting shot right away kind of hurts when you get knocked out of the game, but it can be funny.
Sure. I was watching Richie Munster is his channel. Let me see if I'll probably get it wrong. But anyhow, good guy, podcaster, now does a stream. And I was watching him play Fortnite, and every time he got killed, it was followed by his laughter. And I actually commented on that I really appreciate to hear him enjoying the game, whether he's winning or losing. And he's like, oh yeah, just
Agreed.
don't take this stuff too serious, which he then went on to say the same thing that echoes my sentiment of, I don't get it why people get so upset. It's a game.
Yeah.
And if you're that
Well,
frustrated...
I've been known to be quite competitive in a game, even if I'm playing by myself, so I get frustrated. But it is a game, I can just...
Well, let me ask you
walk
about
away.
this. And Elizabeth, I'm going to stick with you if that's okay, and then go back to Andrea. And Chris, you just jump in if you feel there's a place to. Elizabeth, how have you been treated by guys while gaming in particular? Not necessarily, don't go into your relationship stuff. We're not going there yet. But just, yeah, how when gaming, in particular role-playing games, video games, or anything besides regular, well, and again, maybe even card games would be appropriate here.
I think guys treat me the same as they would women, generally speaking, or each other. Generally, the ones that are more interested in the game than, I guess, giving people a hard time
Mm-hmm.
are welcoming, and they're curious, and they explain things, and they're patient. There's always and this goes for kids too, there's always the jerk that is either really good at the game or doesn't want you around and tries to shun you. I don't know. I go where I'm welcome. So if people are, I haven't really had any really bad, horrible reactions with men, but I get along with men well. So
Well, and in particular,
you can kind of nail them if they're a mean group, then you go away.
with tabletop role-playing games, I know you've played since college. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Women were this rare unicorn for a while, and it became a joke, a meme before memes existed, to where everybody joked about that rare woman who would show up, and it's kind of been insinuated that you give women different treatment as a gamer. Now, me, I don't. I always appreciated to have a woman, but to me, it's the same as anybody who has a different point of view for me. Whether that means you come from a different... Oh, thank you, Tracy. I appreciate that. 4 months of subscribing. Here's to you, Tracy. And your awesomeness. So, with me, a woman or a girl playing, depending what age I was and what age they are, it was no different from having somebody from just a different walk of life, whether that means a different ethnic group or even just a different income bracket. I just liked having somebody who looked at things a little differently than most of us, as in the standard gamer type, which, in my case, white, broke-ass bastards. So, what about that? Were you shown extra favorable treatment in college when you were playing?
Let me respond with this. The only different treatment I've ever really noticed is when I was in Toronto and I went to a comic book store.
Mm-hmm.
And it was two-layered and it was nothing but guys.
Mm-hmm.
I could even smell like nachos.
Okay, well, not bad.
And that in life drawing, you get treated differently. Definitely in life drawing. But gaming, I can't give you, my experience has been really positive. The few interactions that have been negative have been with men and women, and I think it was just personality conflict.
Absolutely, and that's a totally different bag. Yeah.
If people who can't share, people who
There's
it
a
always
few of
has to
those.
be about them, or I don't know.
Okay, I tell you what.
I usually, the first time I join a group, I bring food, cookies, and then people like you.
And some guys would go, "Did you bake these yourself?" But I don't actually care. You brought cookies. I'm not sexist. I will eat anybody's cookie that puts it on the table,
Yeah, you will.
unless it's dirty or nasty.
Quit that.
So anyhow, it's 5 minutes till. We're going to take our little break here so everybody can get refills or hit the bathroom. When we come back, Andrea, I'd like for you to answer the same sort of questions about how you've been treated in either direction, good or bad. Okay, so now, guys, as Elizabeth, Andrea, and Chris head off and do their individual things, or group, I don't know, what?
I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, you're not going anywhere. Go watch those videos. Click on the chat box icon for throwing bits. You'll see Get Bits, and there's a place you can watch videos. Go get some free bits. Elizabeth, did you need to take a break, or are you going to... Oh, there
she's
she
already
goes.
gone. It's
Zoom,
stopped
zoom.
on yours.
Yeah, I wish I could fix that, but I
I
can't.
have an empty chair of her.
There you go, I do
There
too.
you go. That's all I said. So,
Now let's pick apart their background since they're not here.
Well,
But Chris
how
still
about-
can hear us. Huh? How about what?
they're watching videos, so never mind.
Well, we could just randomly talk about things and
I was gonna say,
encourage them to comment.
yeah.
With
what's
their
your
experience? Yeah.
experiences?
I know Gary
have
has
you
been a
seen?
gamer. Jewel, I don't know if you're a gamer or not, but I'm willing to bet you've been in enough nerdy situations you can speak with authority
Authority.
with about the same type of environment. It's just might not be gaming. And Tracy, the same for you. I don't know how long you've been going to conventions, if it was before Michael started publishing his books or not. But you could probably speak with some authority of how you're treated.
Or how you've seen.
Yeah, seen others treated.
Yeah. that's a
Really?
big thing.
You weren't even muted, Chris. What is that?
Sorry.
He thought he was muted.
He might have thought he was muted. Did you think you were muted,
I
or were you
did
just
think
like...
I was muted.
Okay, that's different. So I set up all the screens differently now, Chris. I think you're logged in. You can see the little bars along the bottom showing us our follower goals, which I put till October 31st, and the subscriber
It's
goals.
the anniversary, isn't it?
It is actually October 1st if I wanted to do that. And then the monthly bit goal, which is not changing, which is really frustrating. I wonder if I go over here, let me pull up the bit goal. Look at us all back early.
Oh, she's been back. You've just got a delay.
And Tracy says RavenCon and MarsCon were the first conventions Mike and I ever went to.
That's
So
where we met you.
it was, and yeah, it's so how's your treatment been there, Tracy? Do you feel like as a woman you're getting treated any differently than anybody else, or? And while you type that out, Andrew, we're gonna turn it over to you to tell us about how you've been treated as a gamer.
Well, it's been both. Because at the conventions, when I get a chance, because usually I'm working them, I like to go in the game room and see what I can get into.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple times I've gone and I just walk around table to table, see what they're doing, and sometimes the guys are like so welcoming and they'll explain everything, say, sit down, we'll teach you how to play. That's great. Then I've gone to some where I'm like, oh, Star Wars, tabletop Star Wars. I'm like, I have my character, I have all my stuff, I want to play. And they're like, there's no sign-up sheet, just show up. And then they're like, we're full. And it's the same guys that have been at the same table all day, and they're just wouldn't even. It's like, nope, you're not in this group. So I've been treated really
Now,
well.
do you think you were treated that way because you're a woman? Like, if you were a dude who walked up, they would have let you in?
I don't know. I think they were just assholes, and they didn't want to play with anyone other than
Okay,
each
they brought
other.
their own private gaming group
Yeah,
to
and-
play in public.
But it was a open game where you
Right.
sign up, and the sign-up sheet just happened to be missing. So, you know, both sides. I don't know if it was because I don't take things personally as female. I just think they're just jerks because.
So what about video games?
Oh, like Elizabeth, I don't like playing with little kids.
Because they're fuckers?
Or they'll be like, oh, do it this way, do it that. No. So we've decided at the last convention we'll play together. And that's what we do.
Now, I want both of you, as grown adult females, to realize that you might not be able to beat those kids in the video game, but you could fucking take them in real life in a heartbeat.
Yeah, but that's illegal.
Yeah,
That
but
was
they
my
see you
comment
coming.
before you made it to the room, Andrea. I was there for at least an hour before you got there. We went back, and it was a guy, and he was annoying, 12-year-old maybe,
Uh-huh.
and then it always starts with, "You're not very good." I'd say, "Yeah, I'm too busy driving and drinking and having sex with men." It's usually my response. Having sex with other people. Okay. That doesn't chase him away. And and they're bullies, and then he wants to play with me, but I know he doesn't want to play with me, he just wants to beat me. I don't think that's because I'm a woman, I think it's just because I'm old. And so I usually end up the conversation of, okay, now go bug people your own age, go irritate them. I don't have time for you right now. And when that doesn't work, I say, I am not your parent, I will beat you. And then that usually ends up chasing him away. So
Couple of
I
comments
did play
here.
with the little girl though, and she was awesome.
Nice. It's maybe we'll talk about it in a second. Let me read Tracy's comment here. Tracy says, I mostly did mom things the first 2 times we attended and watched his table when he needed a break. Then at later conventions, I went to panels and walked around. I found everyone friendly. We're going to a new convention this weekend called All-Star Comic-Con. It's local for us, so nice. And I think, now Tracy, I could be wrong here, but I think you stopped doing mom things and started going to panels and walking around in part because of Andrea.
Well, she went to the party and drank because of me.
And her taking your hand going, hey, let's go do things. Hey, Toei, how are you? Good to see you. We're talking about how women are treated differently by gamers, whether it's video, tabletop, or whatever kind of game, if they're treated differently at all. So that's the topic. Feel free to chime in with your own experiences and opinions, especially as a woman that's written tabletop role-playing games. So, and by the way, she says, yeah, big influence to let her hair down. So, why are little girls less of an asshole than little boys? Is this just a... Well, Elizabeth just said she played some video games with a little girl.
Oh, she was still an asshole at moments.
Okay.
Oh, you okay? You okay, Chris? No, he's not responding. This kind of gets to the point I was making.
You're back.
Hey.
You all froze there for a while.
Oh, we were still going on our screen. Your friends might have been loading a new episode of Good Omens, yeah.
She had her moments. She was getting a little snitty and full of herself because, yes, she plays the game all the time, and I had played, just started. And they did this at my school. It's kind of up to us as gamers, especially adult gamers, to teach them how to play, to teach them how to be good sports and good losers. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose.
And if they're not a good sport, spitting in their hair is a good mechanic to use.
Right. And I was very flippant at the beginning of this, but I have worked with kids annoying me over my shoulder. You're not me again. And then I'll turn around and say, well, then help me. And generally they will. Generally they will help guide you, and then you slow them down and teach them how to teach. And that's, I think, how the community can grow.
I'm going to read a few more comments here. Tracy says to Andrea here, yes, that party was fun, still tipsy from the rum and coke. Gary says the DM's sister played with us, but not the whole 3 days at a time. She wanted to be with her girlfriends too. Obviously normal stuff. But girlfriends, I think Gary means in the way that we grew up with, where girls were girlfriends, as opposed to now you can't say, as Elizabeth learned, you can't say I was hanging out with my girlfriend because they think you mean romantic partner. Toei says, I've never been treated any differently. And that's what I'm getting from all three of you at this point in time is, so why is it we hear about all these women or whatever saying they were treated differently? Did they experience a different type of man? Or are they overly sensitive and looking to be offended, as many people are in this world nowadays?
Well, I think part of it is because a lot of the times where that discrimination is coming from is a certain type of game online. You know, on your GameCube, PlayStation, whatever, where you're in a multiplayer surface that is generally by men. And when you find a women gamer in that who tends to be very well at whatever the game is, you know, a lot of guys cannot handle that and have treated women poorly, and that's when you get, you know...
Now, Chris, let me ask you...
Go to the kitchen and make me a sandwich thing.
Now, let me ask you, if they got their ass beat by another guy, they would have called him a fag or whatever derogatory, hurtful thing they could think of. So are they actually treating the women any differently than they would have treated the men when they got their ass beat by him?
Yeah, because it's not quite as mean or initial. Like, the guy would still enter into, you know, the room before the fight or whatever, you know, and you're talking trash, but you still, you know, they're not whatever until you get beaten. Whereas a woman would come in and it's immediate, you know, discrimination.
Okay. There
were several times when me and my roommates were playing, you know, Halo, the first couple of Halos, and we ended up kicking a lot of people out of our groups when they would be mean to women, because you shouldn't.
Elizabeth,
Like
you,
it's
I'm sorry, Chris. When you finish,
Chris.
turn it to
Oh,
Elizabeth.
sorry. All right, I'll yield to Chris till he's done. You done, Chris?
no, that's it.
I agree. I think it's very well spoken what you said there. I think it's insightful. I agree. Guys don't like to lose. They really don't like to lose to women. And I have found this my entire life. I've found this on dates. I've found this with other generations. They warn you going in, you know. It's just it. It's just the way it is. I think as women, I think as people in general, we have to learn to survive bullies. We have to learn to live on the playground and get through it. Everyone has been bullied. Everyone. I think oftentimes things are blown out of proportion from the victim side because that's how you get heard now. Everyone's
attention,
yelling
yeah.
so much. I think on the other side, I think the bullies are empowered because you can be so anonymous on the internet.
Right.
So
Fair
it's
point.
two sides confronting each other.
Chris is posting more stuff. Okay, so Andrew, do you have
And
any?
Faded.
a very amusing comic in the chat
that's
that
funny.
has to do with the.
Andrew, do you have anything to add to this point that we're making?
No, I was just reading the little comic thing.
Well, I know. I'm just wondering. Before you found the comic, did you have anything to add to this?
No, I said what I had to say.
Okay, Wynn says I had guys beg me to play first-person shooter games and even teach me how to play them, so I don't know what all the drama is about.
It depends on the guys, I think.
I think it does. I think it also depends on the woman, and the woman buys into the load of shit guys are shoveling on them as immature assholes who don't like to lose. It definitely empowers the guy at that point in time. It's like we tell children when they're going to school, if you show them it upsets you, they're going to do it more. Andrea, I heard you take a breath there. Did you have something to add to that?
Yeah. That's all. I'm disagreeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's which isn't to say they're not a piece of shit or an immature little bastard for doing it.
Who's a little bastard?
Now,
Yes, you
as
are.
Chris points out, maybe, or in his thing, definitely, because they think you're a woman. Hey, there's John. John, actually, you might have a lot of input into this topic also of how women are treated differently or not treated differently in gaming scenarios, whether it's video, tabletop, etc. So Chris pointed out bullies will talk shit all the time no matter what, and they will lash out and attack when losing no matter what. But if they see a woman, or realize a person is a woman, they will often do preemptive shit talking on a level they wouldn't normally do with other dudes. Is that about
Or
summing it up?
specifically target them.
There you go.
But
So, Andrea, Elizabeth, have you experienced that? Where they, even
Sure.
before shit rolls out, they're like, let me just target this person who has a vagina.
Well, I'd like to say it's difficult to know people's intent because you can't read their minds, and you can only respond. I don't walk in with the drama. I try not to carry it with me. But immediately when you walk in a group, and it happened even when we were doing the Great Smokeout, a couple of guys gave me a little shit. And that's a guy's way. It's kind of like the way of saying, and giving you a little hit, saying, can you handle yourself?
Right.
And I gave it right back to them. And then they're, oh, okay, you're cool.
Right.
And
Which,
that was fun.
by the way, they did that to the other guys also, which that's
Sure, that's
that
Everybody
the
environment.
group
Amen.
dynamic.
Right. Yeah, everybody that walked in got a little shit, except for
You
Andrea,
get a little shit.
because she's small and petite,
'Cause she's
so they were
fabulous.
gentle with her.
Well, yeah, because I would kick their ass.
And she was
They'd
wearing
like-
that sexy little dress.
Yeah.
Actually, you had a
But
sexy dress
Brits are
on too.
notorious for that. The harder time they give you, the more they insult you. That's like they're testing you to see if you can handle it. See
Yeah,
if you
they
get
want to
back.
find an equal who doesn't back down,
Right.
who can.
If people are being jerks, walk away. You jump out of the group.
I remember with that smoke out. Two of them started going back and forth on each other, and I interrupted them with,
You
"Hey
had to
guys,
stop it.
do you want to just pull out your dicks and put them on the table right now, or are you good?" Yeah, and they went, "Oh no, we're good." And here I'm like a foot shorter than both of them, and one's military, one's ex-military, and I just called them on their shit,
Yeah.
and they went, "No, okay, we're good." So yeah, a lot of times it's just testing people, and if you immediately react with fear, they smell that and keep coming at you. if you throw shit back at them, they're like, okay, we're cool.
But I've been online on a game. I got a game I was playing all by myself, just on the internet, and I ran into a couple groups, and one group was kind of snotty, and another group said, "Oh, you're not high enough for us, level," so they dumped me. And one guy came in and he said, "Wow, you are really low level," and he gave me an enormous, super high power sword. He's like,
Wow.
"Here,
Nice.
use this. It'll piss everyone off."
Okay, that's
And then left.
cool.
It was so,
That's awesome.
you just don't know, People are people.
When it comes to level, I have that same problem because I'm never the best geared because I don't do that sort of shit. So a lot of times people are like, "Why is he here?" And I'm like, "Because I'm just here to fuck up your stats." And then I talk shit the whole time because they started it. Do you need anything? I'm going to step away for just a moment and let you guys continue talking.
Set that up.
Just set it over there. Okay, guys, I'll be right back. Continue on, and then I'll jump back in a moment.
Spider.
What was your best interaction, both of you?
That's a good question.
Men or women or strangers?
Well, I think at that, at MarsCon one year when the guys were just like, "Come on, we'll teach you how to play." I mean, that was great. So, I don't know. I've had that a couple of times, like at John's store. I learned how to play Magic because some of the younger kids were teaching me how to play. I'm not very good, but it was all right.
Chris, how about you?
I don't know. I mean, I've played with a lot of girls in a lot of different games, and a lot of them are way better than I am. So,
Are you talking about gaming or something else?
all of the above.
That's funny.
I'm also not a console gamer. So, I have problems with the controls. Now, you put that same game with me in front of a keyboard, I'll kick your ass all day long. But, I don't know what it is about the brain coordination and my fingers do not work.
Yeah, it's the dual joysticks, and then this, and then I know.
I miss Pong, just the...
Right.
Pong, keyboard, real trackball. Yeah, I'll rock. No, I'll keep
Fuck
up.
a trackball. I hate a trackball.
Oh, I don't like that.
Really? Oh, there you can just go. So, what are some of your favorite games then? If you were gonna have to play Death, okay, what is the game you would play Death?
Ooh.
I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I don't
sunk
know if
my
there's
battleship.
a game that I could win, hands down.
Yeah. Or at least stand a chance, right? It's gotta be something you're pretty damn good at. Mist or,
Yes, let me solve this puzzle.
I'd play Rummy, Gin Rummy, or Cribbage.
I've never
I'd
played
rock on that.
Never played cribbage.
I got a board, I'll bring it up. It's cool, man.
Oh, Toey says, she says, "I honestly prefer games with the steering wheel." Well, yeah. And she would play Fishing Planet versus Death. That's funny, because I've seen that game, and it's so funny. I would like to see that game, Toey.
I'd like to see that.
Yeah, but
I
no,
loved
Fishing
watching
Planet-
Toei destroy the entire world with infectious diseases. That was a good game.
Elizabeth's question was, what game would you play Death? Against Death.
Oh, okay.
And so he says Fishing Planet versus Death. That'd be funny.
Maybe rock, paper, scissors.
I said Monopoly.
Really? Are you good at Monopoly?
I can hide some money. properties.
Not in real life, apparently.
I got tons of Monopoly.
Maybe she did. Maybe it's all in the shed. That was her and they're counting.
Hold on. Wynn says, I have an awesome bone fishing rod. Wait, I think it's bone fishing rod, not bone fishing rod. Because it's two different things. That Death would be jealous of in that game. Chris and I have a couple bone-looking fishing rods in World of Warcraft, don't we?
Oh, in World of Warcraft.
Yes, I have one that's made out of a murloc skeleton, and the arms dangle when you move it around.
Oh my god, how did you do that? That's awesome.
Where'd you get that one at, Chris? Do you remember?
It's Legion fishing.
Oh, I'll never
So
get that.
once you become best friends with all of the Legion Fisher people and do an achievement, you can start on a quest to go see Nat Pagel, and you do the quest and you save him from a bunch of murlocs.
And it gives you
kill
Murloc
the big murloc, and then he takes the murloc skeleton and makes it into a fishing pole.
That's great. That's great.
This
Wow.
She's gone crazy.
She was being chased
Look
by
at that
Gabby.
happy pussy.
Or Goblin, or one of the...
Harry's asleep up there.
well, probably Harry then.
What?
Nothing.
So, would you say you would play against Death?
Me? Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, you.
Oh, Lord. Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
No, not doing Lizard Spock.
Well, you don't have to do Spock.
I know a lot of chicks who would do Spock, especially during that robot episode where they attached the thing to his brain and he had remote control.
I was going to say, not since he died.
You know what? I don't. Yeah, let's just stick with it. I don't know any that would do it since he died. There you go. Tracy's checking her points there. If anybody wants to know how many points you have, so you can spend them to do emotes
I have one.
and noises.
Damn it.
And
I forgot again.
what'd you forget?
My kids are getting low on grass. I forgot to buy them seeds today.
Who's
I grow
getting low
grass
on
for my
grass?
kitties.
Scroll down.
Oh, yeah, Tracy, scroll down. You're going to see... Oh, Chris, do you have it in front of you where you can describe it? Because I don't have it up because of my internet.
Are you on your
Yes.
phone or computer?
So there's a little purple box that says points, cheers, subs, chats, and one of the little tabs is store items. And when you click on that, it brings up the different emotes and things that you can purchase, and sounds or the dad jokes.
No, Chris, that is the default. That was automatically up there, correct? Or was it on the countdown?
Yeah, store items was the first one.
Good, because that's what I've tried to set it. There you go. Look at Ed jumping in. Thank you for the bits, Ed. Here's to you. I'm going to drink some beer just for you, Ed. Ed, if you want, you can jump in and I'll switch scenes so you can be on for a few minutes till somebody else walks up. It is 9 o'clock at night. It shouldn't be that damn busy at that site.
How do you like the beer?
It's bland. It's soft. It's
organic.
That's why.
what? It's take it for granted. Is that what you said?
It's organic.
Organic. Oh,
Yeah.
Sam
They're not
Jackson's
making
like
it
that.
anymore. It's discontinued.
okay.
Well,
Well, it was the last one in the
It's a shame.
fridge, and also I think it creates a stomach problem for me. To be honest. Oh, there's that, Chris. You.
Yeah, drink it faster.
Oh, that wasn't.
It put a
on
GIF
mine.
up there. He chose panic.
It wasn't on my. Oh, there it goes. Ah! Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's one of the gaming ones that I added. I don't even know if Ed heard us. He might have just popped in, thrown bits, and bailed.
That's okay.
Yes.
Always
Those are
dead on
the
black.
Acquisition Inks guys in that little gift.
One of them looks like the fucking Wonder Twins. There's Ed. Take another ship. Not sure if I quite liked it. Let me.
Did you say take another shit?
Excuse me. Sorry, I was christening there.
It's the beer talking.
Ugh.
Here we go, Ed. It's pale, Ed. You like pale. So, yeah, Ed, if you want, you're
That's
welcome.
not my. Yeah. Go ahead.
What's that,
Sorry,
Elizabeth?
sorry.
Go ahead. I'm just I'm just telling Ed again, he can jump in on Discord anytime he likes, and I'll adjust accordingly for him. Even if he's only in for 3 minutes and then bails on us. What were you going to say, Elizabeth?
Yeah, it's longer than 3 minutes.
I'm reading Chris's meme he put up.
You just saw
I don't remember now.
the panic meme?
I was going to say, I was going to say that I like the beer is fine. I like it. It's not my favorite beer. It's not my least favorite beer. It's really tasty when I'm doing yard work and I'm really hot.
I can see that. It is not a bad beer in the least. There's just not a lot to it. It's very simple.
No.
Organic.
Yes. Yeah.
There we go.
If it were on tap, I would say, okay, I'll take that one. That one's good. So their raspberry and chocolate beers are astounding.
Okay. Hold on just a second. We'll get back to chocolate and raspberry beer. Tracy, there you go, Tracy. That's exactly how you do it. You redeemed a scream. Okay, you got it. And Ed says, yeah, that was good. Love pale as long as it's not blonde.
Beer or women?
I'm pretty sure we're talking about women at this point.
That's funny. Thanks, Chris. That was good.
The sandwich one.
What are you putting up? What am I missing
It's
here?
the one I was looking at earlier about the sandwich. Make me a sandwich.
Oh, I see. I didn't look at it because I'm running a damn show. Hold on, I'm poking
I
it
told
now.
him to
Yeah,
go make me a
so-
sandwich.
Bitch.
Yeah, and I don't
I
make
also
her...
put it in the stream chat.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Wynn says it had a delicious amber ale called Jeremiah Red last week. Toey, I would appreciate you shipping me some of that because I do like reds.
He likes Jeremiah. Here's a bullfrog.
Ah!
And it gets quiet.
He's reading.
I never win at Monopoly. It's the game that
Neither do
eludes me.
I.
Oh, me neither.
Oh, I'd like to play with the three of you then.
But it takes like 10 hours.
It does.
Yes, and it always ends in tears before it gets
Well,
thrown.
Well, that's
Not
because
my
you
tears.
punch us.
We used to play with my friend Peter, and once it gets to the point where Peter is no longer winning, he will choose someone that he wants to win and takes all of his moves and things so that person will win. And it's like, that's not how you play the game, Peter.
Yes, it is.
No, that's how Peter plays
how
the
you-
game, because Peter's a dick.
That's how you. That's how you dominate the world. That's how you dominate.
Ed has turned into Bob. He says, I need at least 30 minutes in reference to the 3 minutes earlier. And then he says, I'd like to play with the two of them. Where the hell is Bob? God damn it.
I don't know. I've never seen both of them in the room at the same time.
That's
so
true. That's true. And they are
it's
both
Ed,
black
Bob.
men.
It's a conspiracy.
Hi, Tempe. I won't call you out while you're lurking. As well as the other people who I don't know. I actually won't call them out. But Tempe, I know I like you. It's, Andrea really enjoyed your book, by the way. It's,
I need to read the second one.
yeah, she does.
Yeah, you do.
By the way, Ed has taken over the #1 place, so the top 3 bit cheer people are Ed, Elizabeth, and Tracy. It's, Tempe, if you're a gamer, let us know your experience. Have men treated you differently? Either
Have women
positively
treated
or...
you differently?
That's actually a fair point.
Has anybody treated you differently?
How do women treat each other in gaming?
Depends on the woman.
Well, of course, but in
It's
general...
just like in high school. Sometimes they're catty. Right.
Well, usually what I find in the women in gaming that treat women or men differently are the ones that are trying to get something because they have a vagina. So they suck up to the men to get whatever they want from them, and they're catty to the women because they want to remove the competition from their potential
I don't want that.
virtual sugar daddies.
Well, you know, there's very few women I will game with.
Tabletop or video?
Yes.
Okay.
Any of it.
And
Card
Tempe
games,
says,
any of it.
I don't game.
Oh, she doesn't game. Not even card games?
Elizabeth, you ever play Magic the Gathering?
No, and I have had more people try to con me into it, and I just won't do it.
Okay.
Because it pisses them off.
Well, I was just curious if I invited you and Chris over at the same time, could
got
we
cards.
play Magic? Because I have cards I would just give you.
Don't I have to learn a lot? Like,
No.
rules
Yes and no. We'd keep it simple. We'd tell Chris don't bring his really complicated decks. Bring basically swarm decks and power decks.
I like to play the ones with the funny sayings.
I do too.
He has
Flavor
a
text.
squirrel deck.
I do have a
Yeah.
squirrel deck.
if it's you guys, sure, I'll play. I'll play anything now.
That and Red
Sure, why
Dragon
not?
Inn.
It'll be fun.
Red Dragon and is drinking and gambling.
Toey,
I
that's,
love
drinking
Red
again.
Dragon Inn.
do you? Nice. Toey, we should invite you over for Red Dragon and you'd probably enjoy it. But yeah, I started playing Magic the Gathering when it first came out. And I remember the first year it came out, they actually sold, like baseball cards, the full complete set in one box
Yeah.
at the end of the season before they came out with the new season.
I still have some cards from like the 90s. I think 96.
Tempe
Yeah.
says, oh, by the way, Tracy says, I don't game. Tempe says, I'm only sleeping 6 hours a night. I don't think I have time for that. I got game, says Ed. Tempe, is that because you're writing another
A
book?
third one?
You know, no, she's already completed like the third and fourth. She's probably on the fifth by
Jeez,
now.
Why?
Really, Jesus.
Yeah, she's hot.
And
And
it's
she's
good.
writing a lot.
And okay, I know she wrote the book really quickly, and it's good.
Yeah, which is surprising. If your first book you ever write, you write quickly and it's good. Fuck you, I hate you, bitch. But good job. So Tracy, do you want to game? Because we would welcome you into a game, to be honest with you.
We can card game.
We
We can
can.
do Cards Against Humanity.
Okay, Tempe, you know what? Shut the hell up. Shut your whore mouth. She's on
Number
book
se-
number 7.
Holy shit, I can't read that fast. Not lately.
She writes faster than people can read.
Well, I had all that stuff happening with Frank, so
That's true. That's right. Blame it on your son.
I will.
That's awesome, Tempe. That's awesome. Okay, Tracy, you're always welcome to watch on Twitch, and if you ever want to join in, not necessarily when I have a full group like we do on Sunday nights, but yeah, let me
Or
know.
anytime
We'll
we're
work
at
it out.
conventions together, or, you know.
You know what I'll do?
whatever.
Here's what I'll do. If Andrea... Oh, thank you, Toey. I appreciate it. I keep on
Oh.
trying to catch you to throw bits at you. But if I ever... tell you what, Elizabeth, Andrea, Tracy, and whoever else, if we're ever at a convention and we can't get into a table, we'll sit down in the middle of the fucking place, make some Marvel superhero characters right out of nowhere, and play that shit. Or Pugmire. I don't know. Something simple.
Of course I'm going Tracy, I'm working it. I've worked at convention some there.
And I'm going as her man whore / arm candy because
Yeah,
I'm
yes.
just tired of not even making it into the program when I'm running 3 multiple hour things. Yeah. We used to worry about saying things on air because somebody might be listening, but we now realize it's just you guys. We can really say anything we want.
All
it doesn't
5
matter.
of you.
That's right.
I think that ties into what we were talking about the games. You know, you're not going to play with people who are mean.
Yeah.
Why would you go out of your way for someone that's being a shit? You
Yeah,
know,
I'm too old to give a
there you
shit
go.
anymore. Fuck you guys. I'm going who?
Yeah.
John, if you draw pictures, draw a picture of our gaming group, of our character. And overshadowed, put the shadow of the actual players behind them. Get me that picture. And let me get somebody else to make a theme song for us. And we will put that picture at the front of every trailer that you make for me. And also... Maybe that's what I'll start doing. Just running the trailer before we play the D&D game.
I'm very excited to be a dog. A chihuahua that thinks they're a cat. I need to play this game. You brought it up.
I'll have to see if they have any like pre-made modules that we can play through, so we don't have to create everything.
Oh, don't worry about that, Chris. What I'll do is I'll take a corner of my D&D world, create a D&D 1 game arc,
We turned it
All
into
we have to
notes.
do is make the characters and know the rule system enough, which I can read on the PDF, and you can correct me as I screw it up when we're running the game. And we will
I've only read through it maybe once or twice. So
it's more than I
More
have.
than me, more than I ever will.
That's true. But we'll get John, Aaron, and Robert to all make a character one night.
Oh my god, that's gonna be funny.
Maybe we could do an extended game, get on early to make characters, and then play the game immediately afterwards. And I'll just run the game since you won't.
I feel like Robert needs to be one of those dogs that runs around with the barrel around their neck.
Saint Bernard. That's what I was thinking. I think Robert would be a good Saint Bernard. What kind of dog would Aaron be? I feel like he'd be something small and yappy.
No, that's me. I'm Chihuahua.
Or a greyhound.
Yeah.
Like an Italian greyhound, the
Like
smaller
a
greyhounds.
tall, lengthy.
Yeah, I can see him as an Italian greyhound.
Because he thinks he's suave, but he's not really.
He could be a three-legged greyhound.
Oh, God. So what is Chris? I feel like Chris would be like the Labrador type. What do you think, Andrea?
What's the dog with like dreads?
Why would Chris have dreads?
I don't know. I just feel like he should be running and doing the thing
Cow
like he's
and
in a
big and fluffy.
commercial.
I like those sheep dogs.
A Jack Russell.
No, he needs to be one that is.
Now I want to see, because like depending on what type of dog you get, special abilities.
I will have no abilities.
See, that'd be fun for the other players to pick what type of dog you have to be. Really annoying to some people who gets the dog they never wanted to be, but what do you
we
think,
can do
Elizabeth?
that.
What kind of dog is Chris?
Well, he's very intelligent.
Dalmatian.
Oh, they have like epilepsy and problems.
Not in real life.
Or a poodle. They're very smart. So smart they're assholes. John says, fetch me a sandwich. I don't know if that's in reference to the women and gaming thing or the fact that I told you to draw me a picture and you're like, fetch me a sandwich.
Whatever. It
And we'll
doesn't
talk
matter.
picture. John, what kind of dog would
What
Chris
about a
be?
border collie?
Oh, yeah,
What
maybe.
a border collie?
Maybe a
Isn't
border.
that Lassie?
Yeah.
Because they're really smart and they're very good at counting and keeping people in order, and they'll nip you if you don't get it. Oh,
And they're very pretty and you just want to touch their chest.
did you?
Let me brush your hair. Let
Sure.
me brush your fur.
Why touch another's chest when I can touch my own?
No, because everybody's gonna sniff each other's butt. Of course, I'll have to jump.
And you gotta lick yourself.
Yeah, I do.
Or each other.
Yeah, you do.
But I think I'm a cat, so it's different.
So instead of like a cat going, you're like,
Kind of.
you're the worst blend of the two. And everybody watching, if you are so inclined to state what kind of dog you think each of us would be, let us know. Elizabeth, did you want to join in the dog game when we do it?
When are you gonna do it? Are you gonna do it online or are you gonna do it at home?
Oh, we're totally doing it online and streaming it.
Probably not.
Okay.
Not.
It's
That's where I
Tracy,
get this
thank you
career
so
going.
much. Here's to your beauty, intelligence, and incomparable grace.
Are we only going till 10?
Yeah, unless everybody's like, fuck that, let's go to 11. I was planning on 10.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I'm hungry.
It's, there's noodles in there, I know that. Ed, are you still with us, man? Chris, probably Samoyed.
What's that?
Isn't that like a... It's not a Chiss, that's a Star Wars race. Isn't that like a Chow? Isn't a Samoyed like a Chow?
I don't know. Let's look it up.
Is that the wrinkle dog?
Wow.
No, that's the Sharpei.
Ew.
They are big and floofy.
Okay.
Put it in Discord. I want to see one.
So yeah, they're a big Chow, says John. So yeah. Oh, like the super Chow, except less aggressive. Chows are fucking aggressive little fuckers. Not so little.
My parents have a half Chow, half Australian Shepherd.
Interesting
She's-
blend.
She's lovely. She's got a big purple spot on her tongue.
Hmm.
Mm.
She is a big, fluffy ball of muscle that will pull you wherever you want to go.
So, what kind of dog would Andrea be, everyone? Oh, there's Ed. Thank you, Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Ed is taking the lead. Tracy is in second place with 110, Toei with 55, and Elizabeth still awesomely on the charts with 50. 250. John says kind of husky size, and I'm guessing that you mean
The chow thing.
the Samoyed, not Andrea, though they're similar size. Used to have a chow. He was a sweetheart, so I would be a sweet, lovable chow. Very good, Tracy. It's chows are lovable to the ones they're loyal to, but to a stranger, they will fuck their ass up.
I've been attacked by a chow that I knew for years, so you know,
Okay.
it all depends on the dog.
So, is nobody going to throw out a dog breed that Andrea might be?
No.
I think Chihuahua fits.
Yeah, that's right.
Or a dachshund, like one of the long hair dachshunds.
A wiener.
I think something with a little neurotic behavior is reasonable for her.
Just look. See, I was thinking like I don't know, maybe like one of those lap dogs, you know?
John says Pomeranian.
Canadian.
Oh, Lord.
Pomeranian.
Oh, like in
Shih
that
Tzu.
movie.
That is like a fuzzy Chihuahua. Pomeranians and Chihuahuas are like
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
thing with different hair lengths.
In the movie, you know,
Yeah.
Secret Life of Pets 2 is coming out.
Oh, I was thinking, what's his name in Friends? Oliver and Friends, where Cheech Marin played the Chihuahua.
Oh, dear Lord.
Aha! Oliver and Company.
Thank you.
So what would Travis be?
There we go.
A mutt.
Probably.
Hmm.
Don't just go with annoying. Actually, pick a breed. Corgi. Well, they're lovable and cute.
Hi,
And Tracy, you have a
Tracy.
great night. Thanks for coming and hanging out for a bit. If you're bored in the mornings, I'm quite often writing on the stream between 10 and 1, so feel free to pop in.
A Springer Spaniel like Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, yeah, I'm guessing Ed means Andrea at this point in time. That would also mean you piddle a lot when people come home.
Well, you're not supposed to tell everybody.
That's just because she had a kid. No other reason.
That's the next show.
That was going to be the show if Ed and Kevin were on tonight. We're going to talk about not just Andrea peeing, but, you know.
Getting old.
Yeah.
The stuff they don't tell you.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to talk about I'm getting old and we need to talk about this. So Corgi for Travis is one suggestion. Chris, what do you think? What dog breed would that be? Elizabeth, while he's thinking, you got something?
I like corgi.
Oh, what are... Crap. They're... This is gonna drive me nuts while I try and think about what they are.
Can you describe them?
Dog.
Smaller dog, like curly blonde hair.
Oh, like the Pika Labradoodle. Labradoodle.
Not a labradoodle.
Okay, good. God, they're annoying looking.
No.
Teacup poodle.
Or a golden doodle.
No doodle. Sounds like poopies.
That's why it's funny.
What about you, Andrea? You got some? While Chris is trying to figure out what he means.
It says a mutt.
Yeah, I saw it. Says what, which he's not wrong. Not an Irish
It's a
setter.
type of spaniel.
Yeah,
Uh,
cocker spaniel.
Prince
Not a
Charles.
cocker spaniel.
Prince Charles.
Well,
Spaniel?
maybe a cocker spaniel.
A cock spaniel?
A cocked spaniel.
What? Boxer or bulldog is what Jewel says.
Oh, I could go with that.
A boxing
A
bulldog.
boxer. I could go with a boxer just because I think they're
You could
adorable.
be a boxing bulldog.
Bulldogs slobber too
Alright,
much in
in
there.
Kingsman, what is that dog? What is his dog that he picks and he thinks is gonna be this big?
Yeah, I could see you as a boxer.
His dog's this big. He has to carry it.
I'm trying to remember. Okay.
I don't know.
Now, what about Elizabeth?
I want to say a greyhound, but not.
Well, remember, greyhounds indoors are like pillows, and then outdoors they're like a speeding bullet.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground.
Yeah. That's her.
I don't know. And this is where we have to be careful. Just so you know, if you're picking a dog for me, you don't have to worry about insulting me. I'm not going to be upset. But when I'm picking dogs for other people, I'm very worried about upsetting them with the dog I pick.
Well, because I know people that have greyhounds and they're good dogs. They want to lay on your lap,
Mm-hmm.
but they're always full of energy. Oh my God. And you're full of energy.
All right.
She looks so full of energy right now, doesn't she?
She does right now.
Apparently she's in pillow mode at the moment.
Yeah. Well, she's in the house.
I was going to say like a bull mastiff. Because she's definitely got a presence about her. Oh, wait. Ed says...
West Highland Terrier. What's that?
I don't know. I'd have to look that one up. I can't... Oh, Afghan Hound, says Jewel.
That's like,
They are pretty.
It's
We had one growing up.
the fancy feast dog.
Oh, like a Yorkshire Terrier?
Are you
No, the Westland Highland is a little
Oh, yeah, the
smaller.
white one with the little... Yeah.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, the one that kind of looks like a Yorkie if it was an albino, but real eyes instead of...
They're
those creepy eyes.
super cute.
They are.
They're a little high energy. Elizabeth, can I carry you in my purse? Look, I'm
Let's
carrying a
find out.
purse. Maybe I'm in the...
I'm gonna go.
What's that going?
That's funny. We had an Afghan hound growing up. She was beautiful, long blonde with that dark face.
Yeah.
When you see him run, you just stare because there's that beautiful greyhound movement, and then all the follow through of all that beautiful hair. It's unbelievable.
Wynn says, I don't know anything about dogs. The only one I ever had was a German Shepherd. At least nobody has been dubbed a Rottweiler yet. Which...
So,
Mm-hmm.
the Afghan Hound is like the greyhound, but has the...
Do you know what an Irish Setter looks like?
I don't know. I'm gonna Google.
Yeah, Google.
Google
Look
it.
that up, because after
There was one on the
Wolfhounds...
Muppet Show.
There is, isn't there? They feel very snooty, but they're still a dog. They just...
She was beautiful.
They look like somebody straight out of ABBA.
Oh, look at that. I just want to braid it.
Like,
Yeah.
have sex with you?
Braid it, not
Oh,
braid
breed. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I had a German, or not a German Shepherd, but a Rottweiler
That's a lot
who,
of fur.
she was such a sweetheart. She was just a big, dopey sweetheart. I don't mean dopey as in not intelligent, because she was a very smart dog. But, like, she would try to wag her tail, but we adopted her. So her tail had been clipped.
Oh,
So her whole butt would just go everywhere. And then she had
Yeah.
IBS also.
Oh, God.
I know, I felt so bad for
There
the
it is.
poor
Look
girl.
at
There it is.
that.
Stop.
There she is.
Perfect. Yeah.
That-
Now she had a brownish black muzzle,
Right.
a darker muzzle.
Right.
That was her. Amber was her name. Yeah. I was at a friend's house on Sunday, chopping apples and cheese. We were out by the pool, and the mastiff came by, Izzy. Now his head is as big as a soccer ball, and it's above my waist. This is how big this dog is. He's like 200 pounds. And normally, and where I'm chopping, he can get to. And so I would to just kind of push him with my hips, my center of gravity, just kind of nudge him out of the way. And it was like pushing a wall. It's just very humbling.
Here,
Forget how big those dogs are.
think about this for a moment. What would Ed and Kevin be? And I'll be back to that in a moment because I want to tell another story. That'll give you a chance to think about it. I used to do mobile notary. So basically when people refinance their house, I'd go to their house with documents. And I went into one house and they had 8 or 9, and I'm trying to remember what they were. They were huge dogs. Not Great Danes, not Greyhounds, some kind of
An Irish Wolfhound?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Chris. Very good. Wow, good job. They had 8 or 9 of these. No, I'm 5'8" on a good day. Their shoulder came above my hip. And the people are like, hope you're not afraid of dogs. And I'm like, nope. And I walked in with my briefcase, and they're all getting in front of me. Not aggressively, just, hey, person. And I, like you, Elizabeth, has made me think of it when you mentioned you pushed them with your hips, your center of gravity. And that's how I had to move through the house, like hip bumping these fucking dogs out of the way. And the people are like, I'm so glad you don't have a problem with dogs. I'm like, nah, I'm fine. But yeah, I was surrounded with dogs almost as tall as me.
If this dog stood up on its hind legs, it would be taller than me.
That's
He's
impressive because
enormous.
you're a couple inches on me there.
I mean, I'm 6'1". Yeah,
Right.
it's amazing. And when I got there, 3 of them ran at me, and I knew one of them, and the other 2, and they're all barking. Like, oh God. That's why I always carry cookies for dogs. It's nice when the jaws are happy to see you.
Did you say the Johns?
Yes.
The jaws.
So what kind of? I feel like Ed might be a Rottweiler because with the people he knows, he's very happy and friendly, and the people he doesn't, he's very standoffish but protective of his area. And I also feel like Kevin could be the African wolfhound that we were talking about.
I think Kevin, for me, is, what was that? Chris listed one of them, the big dogs, the,
Irish Wolfhound?
no, Marmaduke was one.
Oh, Great Dane.
Because they're just real chill about things.
They are. They
And
are.
You don't notice they're stressed until they get sick or something goes wrong. And you're always like, Jesus.
Have a heart attack and have surgery, something like that.
Happens to all of us. One thing or another will get us, yeah.
And Ed says, woof.
Okay.
And Jill says, best dog I ever had was a golden German Shepherd mix.
Ooh,
That does
what
sound like a
pretty
good
dog.
mix. But man, I bet he fucking chewed as a puppy. Or she did. Because both those are... it's not as bad as a Labrador, but a Golden Retriever and a German Shepherd, they both will chew the fuck out of shit as a puppy.
Robo dog.
Dino Mutt. He's awesome.
Dynamite?
Blue Falcon Dino Mutt from the 70s. It was kind of a Batman with Cyber Dog cartoon, Hanna-Barbera. So, a little tongue-in-cheek, a little silly. It was one of my favorite cartoons, and I remember Blue Falcon, I didn't remember that name, and I was in 2nd grade in a magnet school, and they asked, we're going to do basically win, lose, or draw. You're going to draw a picture, and somebody has to guess what TV show you're talking about. I wasn't allowed to watch TV. So I'm trying to remember this cartoon's name that I enjoyed, and I ended up having the class guess Big Blue Marble, which was like an educational show that I watched once. Oh, there you go. See, Ed says, I used to have a Rottie. She was a 100-pound lapdog. Same with my girl, whose name was Bridget, by the way. Wait, no, that was the German Shepherd. This one was... Oh, I don't remember, apparently. I don't know.
Who knows?
So anybody else got an opinion of what Kevin or Ed would be?
Yeah, I'm good with what we came up with.
See, I don't know much about the dogs.
I feel like Ed could be a pit bull. Because they look scary, but they're just big sweeties.
Right. Unless if you abuse them, then they will fuck you up.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
No, I could go with that. It's, what about John? John Millington, who we play games with and whose Conquest Publishing Comics? What is he here?
I think it's
Publishing.
Publishing.
I could go with like a bull mastiff type thing there, because again, he's very protective, but he's not aggressive until provoked.
There's one. I don't know their names.
Can you describe them? Because we might be able to guess the name.
Big dog has got fur.
Oh, right, that's good. It's that'd be Dog.
rather than those big naked dogs.
That wear fake fur, faux fur. And people throw paint at them. Poor dog.
No.
Faux fur.
That's horrible.
The Saint Bernard.
Faux fur terriers.
Does it
Saint
have
Bernard.
any alcohol around
No,
its
I
neck?
know the Saint Bernard. I know what that is.
Okay. So big dog.
They're born with those barrels, aren't they?
They are. It's rough on the mother, but but like all wood, it grows.
What color are they normally?
Dog color? I don't know. I've seen them.
You suck.
I've seen them.
You've seen them, okay.
I've seen 'em.
Oh.
I don't know. People
Okay.
bring, because at the store, our store is pet friendly. People bring their dogs in all the time.
Okay. Long fur or short fur?
It's not short, but it's not like that other dog I just showed you.
So medium fur.
Uh-huh.
And are they dark colored or light colored? Or multicolored?
It's different colors,
So multicolored.
and it's big dog.
Big dog.
How big is big? Bigger than
German
higher
Shepherd.
than your waist, higher than your shoulders.
It could see over the counter at my work.
Great Dane.
No. It had more fur than the. I know what Great Danes are. This one
Okay.
had more fur. I don't know.
So
What's
so
a Chinese D?
Jules says that would be a Chinese D. A Chinese D is a small penis.
Kiss my
Malamute?
ass.
A husky?
A chow.
Does it have a straight tail, a curved tail?
And this one had a nub. That was
Oh,
weird.
okay.
Are they
So one where they
Dobermans?
cropped the tails.
I don't know if they cropped it or ate it. I don't know.
Or ate it? Did
I
you
don't know,
say
it
he
might
ate
not-
his own tail?
It might have been a mix of something, but it was a very nice dog. It was very pretty. Good dog. I don't know. It was a dog. You're a dog, John.
Ed throws out Burmese mountain dog.
Oh, I don't know what that is, but that sounds cool. Let me look it up. Let me use
I
the
do love a
Google.
good Burmese.
A Mastiff? A Newfie? A Newfoundland?
Oh, could be Newfoundland. They're nice dogs. I can see that one. That
Oh
might.
my god, that's adorable.
Let me see.
Oh, God. She's not the best
Oh,
witness in court. That's
Oh, I recently got a letter from the local county about jury duty.
uh-huh.
Here you go, John. That's you. You're adorable.
Hold on. There.
Oh.
Wait for it. Wait for it. Let it focus. No, it looks like a fucking demon. It's horrifying.
It's so cute.
There you go.
There you are, John.
Now look up a Newfoundland, which is spelled Newfoundland. What's the next word? Newfoundland what?
Dog.
Yeah.
That's it. And they call them Newfies for short. They're the water dogs. They can pull. They jump out of
Here you go,
helicopters.
dog.
They pull boats.
Oh,
they,
wow.
John says grr.
Yeah. Or,
It looks like a bear.
Yeah, oh no, there's
Mhm.
better pictures, but yeah, looks like
Yeah.
really short legs. Looks like something straight out of Star Wars.
those dogs. A friend of mine raises them, and one of the rules she has is they have to get along with all the farm animals.
Right.
And they eventually had to adopt one out because ripping chicken wire apart to get to the chickens.
Wow.
Everybody likes
And
chicken.
then at first
Man.
would just move over the cement blocks just with its paw and then rip open.
I've had days like that where I'd rip open chicken wire to get to the chicken. Yeah.
That's a big dog.
Hell yeah. Kennedy, how are you, man?
Hey, Kennedy.
And for the other people lurking, feel free to say hello. Hope you're doing okay.
Don't do that, Elizabeth.
And
I passed it.
we've got 5 minutes left. I want to remind you guys that if you have Amazon Prime, you can subscribe to us. I am on most days writing in the morning. In the evening, we do things like this, whether it's gaming or the Talk of the Tavern format. Also want to remind you that you can throw bits at us for free without having to pay a damn thing, and it helps us out, keeps us going, and lets us buy booze.
Not boobs. Maybe.
Do we have to pay for those? I thought those were free. If I ate enough, I got some for free. Oh, look at Elizabeth running up the pack there. Back up to number 3. Putting Toey down to number 2 or 3 or 4 or damn it. Wait, you gotta. Ed has to run and escort nurses.
Oh yeah, you do.
Hey Ed, tell him we said hello, nurse.
Hi, Ed.
Okay, let's do a closing toast because we got 5 minutes left. Andrea, why don't you do that for us?
Why? Because I don't know one.
Hey, here's to not knowing one. What the hell did you just hit with your can? Oh, okay. John says, my dog Storm destroyed a 6-foot chain link enclosure. Learn to just let him stay out and roam. And bury the bodies afterwards.
It's easier that way.
Probably cheaper too. One shovel lasts a lot longer than having to replace that chain link enclosure.
That's expensive, I know. She is staring out that window.
I know, I guess the cop was okay over there at the
Hopefully he left.
redneck hellhole that we call our neighbors. Good night, Tempe. Good night, John.
Night, Tempe.
Good
night, John.
Tempe. Oh,
Good night.
we need to organize
The show just goes on and on.
this better. It does. I may come back and write. I haven't decided.
He will. He needs to.
I do need to. That's very true. So,
I'll tell him.
yeah. So, Gary, if you want to fall asleep to the dulcet tones of me typing, or anybody else, I know.
I used to do that.
Yeah. You could put it on your phone in the room while you're dozing off.
My phone is at like 3%.
Well, if you plug it in with a thing.
Plug it in, plug it
Anybody have any closing thoughts on our topic, Chris? I don't know.
Let ladies play their games. I don't know.
That's reasonable. Andrea?
Gamer's gonna game.
Don't be a dick. Like, the Wheaton law should always just be in effect.
Andrea.
And don't be a wanker.
There you go. Elizabeth?
You know, how you play in games is how you are in life, and it's very revealing. So,
It is, yeah. Keep in mind, if you behave like an asshole when you're anonymous and having fun, you're pretty much an asshole in real life, too. So I think they summed it up nicely, and I don't have much to add to that. So you guys have a great evening. We are going to cut out of here, and I will probably be back in about 15 minutes after I take care of a few things. So if you so decide to hang out, I will talk to you then, and you guys can see the novel I'm working on, which is a near future borderline cyberpunk dystopian novel, which if you took Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Guardians of the Galaxy Part 1 and mixed them together, we've got the feel, the essence of what I'm working on. Okay, so we're going to bail out of here. I'm going to throw some closing music up, and I will catch you guys later. We love you platonically. No penis or vagina involved.
Discussion of shenanigans tonight. One thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the Tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, and be good to one another. Now, raise your glass in good cheer. Enjoy the small moments every day and steamy dreams every minute.
Oh shit, I gotta stop it, don't I?